The most interesting EMEA team, certainly as far as how they play like their defensive sides, you know, how they run so many aggro set strats, and against PRX, who are probably the most unique team of all time in Valorant, I think this should make for a very interesting stylistic game.
Going to be GX on the attack side to start us off, and already Ara's gotten himself pretty deep up mid. Something ready for it, turns to flash, and now for contact is just too good. What an opener. Talk about wind taken out of the sails for GX. Spike dropped in mid, and Cloud and Westside trembling hands to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, something pretty much just continuing the reign of terror that he has been on throughout Stage 2 until now, and one of the absolute peaks of his career at the moment. Forsaken caught getting a tad bit too adventurous, perhaps, in mid. So the tiniest of openings for GX, the PRX are ready to just flood onto them and get an ace.
Full ace. Full ace for the boy. Jump, bound, just like Bambi. Something. Well, look at what he came for. Pistol round ace for something. And PRX start out with a very nice little burst of confidence. And this is why PRX can get away with such ridiculous stuff, Wyatt. They have this individual talent. I feel like it's rarely seen at this level.
Absolutely not. It's just across the entire team. They're all capable of this, but genuinely though, yeah, Something's form at the moment has just been utterly outrageous, even for his standards. Feels like he's hitting a real career high at the perfect time right now heading into Champions.
That 1v2 clutch with the off on bind against Sheila Gaming had my jaw on the floor. The guy is ridiculous.
Oh. And he gets away with 1 HP under a lot of pressure there with the Judge. That 0 point connects onto a couple players, so a good paranoia is sent in. Device so weak on account of Aura.
Still having a fight for a spot. Patman having trouble digging him out of Switcher.
Yeah, that was some pretty solid util actually from GX to get back in there with a 0 point into the paranoia. Couple kills. They're going to get the spike down. A low HP for Westside. He has picked up that stinger. Definitely needs to play close range. Wants to play a flash even, but
pretty isolated there, Flickless, without an opportunity to actually get involved. And now that slow orb will make it difficult for him to work his way back out. Defuse here for PRX, and the important weapons will be maintained. We're going to have a switch up of our diffuser here briefly as Jing gets off, something gets on, working towards a very early dimensional drift for the Yoru.
Just going to one orb away. Nice that something goes down to 1 HP, but then gets a heal with Jing, so he can just go run it Flickless with a Judge. Go for part 2. GX fans hoping that first round ace, and what we've witnessed so far, not an omen of the next 11 rounds to come for PRX. This is such a challenge for GX. I mean, they're off the back right now of the biggest win of the career in these players' history. Genuinely beating Sen in that first round. I'm so impressed by the level of play they were at. PRX, whole different beast though.
But they have to fight PRX for this space, Wyatt. They've got great set plays, they're really well drilled. That's something that stands them in good stead to tip the scales in their favor.
Device able to throw down a pretty deep shear wall in B main. And when you're not feeling that pressure, you can kind of just go for the jump with it, throw it down deep, and then back away. PRX are doubled up here on Cat, and something still with the Judge. And while there was that sound bait coming through from Jing, he was just kind of tapping, trying to make a little bit of a distraction.
Slow start here for GX. Now they've sort of decelerated through mid a little bit with an Owl drone, this time clearing market. They do not want to run into a Judge in that corner or someone else. Patman with a shoulder pick. Ara sees an opportunity to come forward, but actually backs out of it. Devi knocks him down to 20 as well from Switch.
That is a lot of damage exchanged. Grabino does have that full kit available at the moment, Paranoia, so the team could try to get into Tree, but I'm not even sure they're aware they're walled off until they're going to get much closer here. Wall about to break, though. 3 PRX players expecting this to come through, though.
They're going to fight out of this.
What a setup.
PRX, for God's sake. You know they're not going to sit here and let you pass them by. Paranoia thrown out. Jing's able to capitalize. Ara very low. Strong wind to blow him over, and Forsaken's got more than just hot air. Here's Grabino. Has to walk up onto the A site. Got a smoke in his way. Spike on the other side of Tree with 12 seconds left. He knows he might need to batten the hatches here and just try and survive.
Only option at this point in the round. The way that PRX maneuvered the map there was so lovely. Late into that round, they insert something with that Judge close up in B main. The rest of the players on that sort of B mid side, they pivot over towards Tree. reading that GX were going to try to go for an A split up cat when that wall expires. As soon as they start making noise there were 3 PRX players ready to go. Paranoia, and then initially it's just the run and gun from Jing. Patman able to trade off, swinging with the Phantom. Really lovely round for PRX. They convert the bonus.
This team surrendered only 1 defense side round over to RRQ in that Pacific matchup, in that final. They were so dominant on this defense side. Some wine position taken up this time by Forsaken. Again, PRX ready to fight for this space.
And the second GX activate, they could get hit by slow orbs from Jing. Yep, there. That one's going to go down, but Aura gets ahead of it. Lovely Paranoia. Again, there's been some good util setup for GX. Unfortunately, it's just come on eco round so far.
Blown out first. Jing flattened by West Side. Always good with the Sheriff, and now into the site. GX are swarming over it.
That was just alert to cat, I believe. Something stops the plant, though. Very low on HP. A lot of danger. He's got to back up just a bit.
Yep, this buys time for a check. You better, Patman! Does not allow further passage. Are able to hold it down here from A main, and look at this wrap from Something. Look at the gate crashes.
He has flanked so quickly. I do not think Cloud is going to expect this whatsoever.
Initially, he was just checking mid in case there was a late flank. Now, though, he stepped up. What an angle! Ara, though, has the presence of mind to check for it. A massive thrifty here for GX.
PRX were trying to show some of that aggression towards A main. The slow from Jing came a little bit too late. And a couple rounds now, we have seen Grabinho throw out a Paranoia at a great time, and Aura able to capitalize. It happened on just the round 2 eco, so they weren't able to convert. They didn't have the weapons. But here, Aura had a hero rifle, so he gets in. He gets that first. West Side flanks through Cat, gets that pick. Super well done.
West Side pretty terrifying with the Sheriff in hand. That was something showcased extensively against Sentinels. PRX falter slightly here. Money such that, though, they can continue to make a buy. Because they can eventually stave off a mid where 4 players for GX taken up shop.
He's picked up the op. Oh my god, West Side. Those are the kind of shots he hits with some crazy consistency. Just the good crosshair placement, fast reaction shots.
And he didn't have to be firing against Sentinels. The rest of his team were doing so well, but now is a great opportunity to step up and show that individual skill. Shorty here for Ara. Inside the smoke, and it does its job. Forsaken is dealt with now quickly, trying to double back around to the site. Digging out that last defender. Devi in the corner. Only going to be able to find his one. Patman kept off the fight with that smoke towards defender spawn.
And now that remaining PRX duo, they're just forced to save. GX have really played with a lot of high tempo early round on these last couple, and it has paid off. It's resulted in early picks. Something going for that aggro play in B main, immediately dealt with. And then the exec onto the site really accelerated. Aura beats the timing into the smoke. The Devi is just left on site alone, overwhelmed. GX have done a nice job catching out PRX early.
Just well set up. I think Grabinho was a player we definitely want to highlight here early. 4 assists to his name. Paranoia setups, though, have been excellent. So now PRX got to be a bit more respectful off the rip here. That was a early presence by Forsaken over towards Catwalk that was punished. There was some spam through. And then a push off of that B side.
Look, I mean, Something barely even got around the corner before being hit by that. Aura beats the timing for Forsaken into the smoke. I like that from him. It's a calculated risk. Pays off.
There are similarities between how these two teams played the defense side. I think GX almost see a reflection of themselves in some of these info pushes and this proactivity from PRX.
So PRX investing into this round a fair bit around the 2 guns that were saved. Of course, if they lose, they'll have that 3-round max out loss bonus. But Something picks up the Judge on account of having that dimensional drift. And they have the Hunter's Fury to combo with it. So that could be very potent if used at the right time. Getting Hunter's Fury's tags, but then also in the chaos, popping out with a Judge on someone.
PRX insisting on some mid-control with a smoke at tiles that just gets walked up through by GX. They've been able to drift over towards that catwalk position, but now 2 players taken up in tree. I'd see Forsaken play back towards the site a little bit more, but once more, we're going to see PRX fight if there is a push off catwalk. Refresh that one way at A main. Forsaken trying to imply some main presence, hoping to funnel elsewhere. But GX are unperturbed so far.
See if they just have to wait that out. They do have a drone from Cloud that could be used to clear through it. Yeah, that is going to be the maneuver. And now Paranoia immediately going to at least stall GX up. Something getting close with this Judge right into main.
Ara has to be mindful of this. Check close is going to be important. There it is. Okay, 0 Point comes in, but something just steps back. He doesn't have the gate crash out, and then opts to step forward. Cloud now with Hunter's Fury, Forsaken avoiding for the time being. Does get pinged out by that second shot. Goes low, it doesn't matter. He handles Grabinho. Manhandles him up close. Now that tree control is there for PRX. GX, though, forcing in on the site. They got Gen presence. Patman got an owl in. Spots that A main player.
Cloud crossing to Wine. Door went down at the perfect time. No one for PRX having the opportunity to flood in because of it. But now with the man advantage trying to press through Catwalk. Issue being Forsaken has to close the gap with the Judge at some point. There's one Sheriff. Weaponry better for GX.
But just has the room to clear the dart, but they know he's there. It doesn't seem to matter. Here is the null command that comes out. It's Devi and Jing that have to fight through it. Now there's no other choice for it. From upper, West Side finds yet another. It's on Jing. Suppressed, knows Cloud is likely in A main and sends his crosshair in that direction. Drops down, tries to isolate the 1 versus 1s. The Flickless will not be shifted. And GX have even upped the game.
So difficult to get a kill on the drop like that. Lovely shooting from Flickless. That initial one onto Cat. Tight angle was really clean. I like that decision to use the Hunter's Fury just straight away from Cloud when they got the position on something, and because he was hit by that 0 Point, then he just feels pressure. Oh, I gotta do something. Goes into the open, he's scrambling. Gets shot down, and then again, it's GX. They pick up the pace nicely after that.
Pinging out 2 players of that Hunter's Fury was pretty big. I think Forsaken ate the 2nd and 3rd bolts. The cherry on top. Global title, all well and good. They're looking for that Pacific World Championship. It's on the table here. This is the kind of matchup they need to kind of be dominating to give that level of confidence. Remember, the winner in this series will advance to playoffs.
PRX just hoping that someone early would have gone over towards B, walked into that multi-stack of players, and it looks like now if they get a ping with this drone, they might just swing out with a few from mid.
Okay, it's going to be flash dart here to follow it up. There's a lot for GX to deal with. Their hands are kind of tied in mid, and now the push is going to come up. But Cloud, comfortable enough from Catwalk, is ready to receive this, and I think PRX have overestimated the level of disruption they've been able to induce. Down in Divine Forsaken. They take a classic gamble up mid, bit of a Chico vibe.
It was a cool play attempt, you know, syncing up that Paranoia, plus the flash from Yoru, plus the recon. After confirming information on a player mid with the drone. Not mad at the play. Cool attempt, but yeah, ultimately GX just have way better guns.
Cloud also had turned the flash and someone else shot the dart for him, so he had his crosshair positioned correctly and was ready to fight. Some stall here, of course, on this belated attempt at B. The sheer wall has to be respected. That will be drawn out now. Gets Westside at least over to logs.
Sank it and anchoring pretty deep in the site, but now all alone and dealt with perfectly clean, flawless round from GX. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I was the only one. After those first 3 rounds, when PRX converted the bonus, I was worried. I was worried that they were going to begin to run away with the game, but then GX ecoed them back. 4-round run. They're looking really good right now. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and maybe it's, you know, what the players had been mentioning before this game of, we don't really feel pressure. We're GX. People didn't even think we were going to be here. We're going up against the best team in the world. The reigning champions from Toronto. We have 3 rookies. We don't have any pressure. We're huge underdogs.
Devi trying to hold close here. It's going to be a steel garden thrown out. Ara already got himself over towards that spawn side. Not a lot to see there. Somehow Cloud is all the way back there. What a wrap here for Forsaken. TP obviously gets himself in a position now to harry them from defense spawn. From the attack side even. And so Grabinho never really got to set foot on this B site at all.
What a crazy counterplay from Forsaken to just disrupt the plans of GX entirely. I mean, look at the X's on the map right now of where the dead GX players are. It's like in the spawn of the defenders damn near.
It's like we used to see Jing do on Icebox. Same idea, right? That TP into spawn. Smoke assisted though on Icebox in fairness. This guy just rips it. Love that from Forsaken. And on the other end, right, it's a skill garden that definitely slows GX up. So it puts them on a real clock when there's an Omen player teleporting into this
just pushes them into Forsaken. That was a crazy little scenario.
Yeah, like Ara got ahead of it, right, but not in a position to be sort of followed up on at all. was a PRX round of all rounds, for sure. Grabinho loves that spot. So does Boaster, by the way. That little TP on the box of top mid. Nothing to be gained from there right now. It's actually pretty deep dark cover thrown out here by GX.
Something has this operator was saving for it on one of the prior rounds, controlling mid at the moment. As GX currently setting up for a split into this B site. Patman ready to let that recon go once they get through the choke point. So they can try to spam some of these players down from back site through Boathouse.
Oh, that is dirty. Ara is so close. And there's a noise cut in mid, or rather PRX don't see GX as they pull out of that part of the map and leave the insert. Something's back in the game and Ara might have something to say about it, but the slow orb meant there's no direct follow-up on that res attempt. It's Cloud falling. Divine going to control from stairs here. Caught inside the fragment and Gravino's got the follow-up now. Patman has to fight for himself inside Boathouse. Chucked down, still gets the kill. And now Dimensional Drift is going to get something into the site, but he's holding nothing but an operator. Jing can also work out from spawn as well. There's Westside. Damn, he's been good today. Very sharp, and Jing should wait a moment. He's got something with him now. Seen this guy retake 1v2 with an op. He's got Jing to help him this time. Flickless watching Speedway, though Jing's going to have to be quick with this adjustment, and he is. So much so he doesn't take any damage. Westside now under pressure, shot through the wall, and something alights with the shorty. Hard fought round for PRX, but they'll take it.
Beautiful attempt from Westside. Just feels at the very end he needs to adjust the positioning, and it's something right on top of him with that shorty. Fast for the trade. This was an insane little shot from Aura to open the roundup. Look at that from Something's point of view. The second he checks that left side, Aura is right out there.
Sick two-piece there from Westside. For me, it's Jing being able to get that correction of aim onto the plant spot.
And having the res available in mid, just bring it right back to the 5-on-5.
Yeah, it kind of negates all of Ara's patience, just staying as that insert in mid.
Super important round to use it. And that was onto Something who then has the dimensional drift to follow up into the site.
But that'll condition PRX now. That deep smoke into mid could imply an insert being left behind by GX for later in the round.
Westside with that cam. Does get something up. Patman and Something that time. A bit of vengeance onto Aura. That is the duelist entry, the space maker. When you're trying to hit one of these ascent sites, totally removed. This is going to be really difficult for GX from here on out, especially if they go towards that setup with the Vice. You're just going to get your team fully stalled out by the Thorns. If you go into the Sage, one slow orb, no one can get past it. You're all just trapped. Maybe Grabinho can try to go for some kind of crazy TP, but outside of that, not a lot of options.
There's a sheer wall inside tree. Something can play off that after trying to take a pick.
And that did turn off the Vice Util for but a moment, but no one is able to, it's not really a play to be made off of it, unfortunately.
Down mid, look at this double face that's been set up randomly by PX. They've just assembled this in response. That deep smoke's there again, and all Cloud spammed out just as the smoke bloomed. Flickless fortunate to get across. He can play off his player in B main, but it's a Sage wall there to play with.
There are rotates being drawn for PRX, aside from the fact that Jing is just entrenched here in the corner.
No!
What a
Behind
transfer.
the wall! That is disgusting. And again, Jing with the crucial frags. Knock the wheels off the GX bus.
GX had a really cool game plan there, honestly. Grabinho was working through A main. He found a pick. If you looked at the top of the minimap, everyone from PRX, after he got that kill, were being dragged towards A. It was just Jing who was fully committed to that site.
30 seconds.
If he even goes 1-for-1, Grabinho's teleporting back. Obviously, still a horrific position for GX, but I think they had a cool game plan that is just ultimately unraveled because Jing puts together a really sick multi-kill.
Remember that solo hold for Jing with the wall sets up the double face in mid for that spam kill. So sick.
Wow, Paranoia straight away catches everyone. Slow orb as well.
Oh my God,
this is miserable.
Doesn't know where to be. Here come the shock darts. This could be painful. Patman's got another one where that came from. Grabinho would love to get up on the corner, but Jing has been felled.
Everyone on GX aside from Westside just damaged up. Him now too from the spam. They are all so weak. Sold out. Double flash.
But Paranoid to get on the speedway here. Patman respects it though. Tries to fold away. Forsaken TP out in the open. Apparently Flickless punishes.
What a kill
Null
from
command.
Flickless.
This is dangerous here. That util turned off. Patman has to fight out the old-fashioned way, and that is beautifully done, but Westside will be waiting. Look how low he and Flickless are. By no means a sure thing for GX. And it's up to Divider. Dig them out. Flickless low drifts across the side. Westside will be set up on the speedway. Drop down onto the side and wins it out. 12-8 for Westside.
Oh my God, man. He is on one right now. The crosshair placement is just excellent in these fights, and he is so quick with the reaction. By the way, though, beautiful kill from Flickless. That one right there onto Forsaken. The highest impact kill in the round at that point. Opens up the sight. Westside clutches up.
Okay, that's only DEFCON 5 for Alex. We're doing fine. But GX really proactive. Remember, they throw that neural theft in and then immediately Paranoia Speedway. They're very keen to get onto this
And
B
it
side.
was synced up with a flash from the KO. Insta just pop out. That was with all 4 players so weak, stuck in the choke for ages at that point.
There's just a symphony of util lined up. These set plays for GX, man, are so clean.
That's what has really impressed me about them on both attack and defense, on their executes. The sequencing of their util and timings, so tight compared to the competition.
And that contrasted with PRX's just innate talent, ability to flood like no other team. A little bit of a difference of styles there. Paranoia Forsaken, he tries to back away. He actually avoids the one that comes in Jen's direction. And Nara now is above him, not ready for Forsaken to be crouched, perched from below. Something gets in and then gets straight on out, like only he does. There's Artistry here from the Heaven side. As Forsaken's ready to get messy on the side itself. Cloud barely alive. Jing puts him out of his misery. Now it's on Flickless. He gets bounced, flashed, and rolled by something.
What an outstanding flood from PRX, and this is the exact kind of fun pace that I wanted to see in a PRX versus GX games. 2 teams that are highly coordinated and willing to absolutely send it on the opponents.
I mean, PRX are the team that are going to force you, they're going to drag you to pay at that fast pace, right? You will need to compete for timings, fight aggressively over this space, but GX are happy to do with that because they've got such sick prep, such a good foundation of set plays on this map. They will go to that gear. Insu wanted to highlight that as well about Flickless. I think we're seeing that he's sitting on 11 assists here.
Yeah, and speaking of, it looks like GX maybe wanting to go for a fast play down mid early with some of these flashes. Perhaps synced up or just a deep flash. No, it's just going to be a straight up contact down. They've got some sheriffs on catwalk for that good long range. Matter of fact, they have 4 sheriffs just across the board. There's a lot of classics and at least some armor. So
I think PRX have sniffed this out. I think they realize something is afoot behind them. So now they'll accelerate now through B main. Paranoia is an option, of course. They get smoked off the B main and just walk straight through it. So tick-tock, though. GXR got to start nipping at their heels, and G might be the first to see it. He thinks about it. Timing's not quite there for him, though. Spotted out already. And there's Patman. Might have to do something about this. Ara with the stopping power to put 2 PRX players in the dirt.
Not a lot of util to work with for PRX. Just that one Paranoia for Forsaken. Can it get a good connection? Something playing up close. 2 players all the way back.
Razorvine there.
Cleared by Ara! Oh, wow, something takes a timing off that. What a bold play.
Gravino is also quite low as he tries to make his way onto the side. A decent 0 point now, but PRX are ready to fight for their lives in this site. Gonna be 3 players come downstairs. Something now can turn his attention along with Forsaken to the rest of it. And that is a 3v5. PRX tucked in the site, and this is their bread and butter.
What a sick play from something. He takes the timing to jump into the smoke off the break of the thorn, so he knows that that player's crosshair going to be down, adjusting it back up, and he's right in Aura's face. Really cool maneuver to get them back into that 3-on-3, and then PRX doing what they do best, which is everyone fights together.
It's unspoken. It's purely instinctive from PRX in that post plant. Like the idea from GX to contact play up mid. Got them a backstab opportunity, but 2 from Ara is not enough.
It felt like it really should have been. Look, PRX take down both pistol rounds now.
They're so proactive. Look at GX. Look how fluid they are. In motion constantly. Something that's going to fight for this, and no one shot that dart. That is very enlightening.
How did that hit all 3 of them? That was crazy.
Yeah. Now they're going to make a play off of catwalk, but PRX are ready to fight for this space as well. Heal up. Gravino gets him 1. But now that leaves the A site pretty loosely held.
Didn't expect Gravino with Flickless baiting for that position, but even still, things traded out. What a shot again from Aura. Oh my God, GX, what on earth is happening? They're just winning straight up duels, hitting crazy shots with pistols.
Devi realizes he needs to put this Vandal to work on the side itself for a retake, and he's just got around the corner. Why are you fighting? What is that West side with the classic?
Mean, he has the Vandal at range. I'm fine with the fight. Bro, you gotta You gotta win that.
That is unreal.
I cannot believe GX are winning these fights though. Still, Forsaken, long range, open angle with the Bulldog. These guys have a combined 50 HP.
30 and 20 respectively. What on earth is that from Westside? What a filthy round from GX, man.
Thrifty.
Proactive always asking for more map control. MasterCard Thrifty, I won't soon forget.
I am just stunned. I didn't see that from Westside's point of view. What was that? I mean, he must have seen Forsaken's legs under the smoke or something. Well, I mean, I don't even know, man. Double dink long range. Westside is, it feels like he's just playing cheats right now. Westside can't miss. Man, PRX in this game so far won both pistols, but also, flip side, GX, they've won 2 eco rounds.
Yeah, 2 massive thrifties at pretty important points in the game. All right, PRX realizing that their opponents are not to be trifled with. Grabinho here committed to wine and just took the swing. That has definitely put PRX off their lunch.
Aura has pressed all the way down mid to watch this B main cross with the Outlaw. Something, does he expect it? Does he go for the little jiggle? No, he is just caught out in the open. Aura smoking that angle off. The cam is watching top cat for him as well.
Aura can be dug out here by Cloud. He can very easily support him through mid.
Or rather, I think that might have just been a ping from the drone. Either way, you know, he did have support, someone able to keep eyes on top cat while Aura was in this very forward position, which he's just retaining, by the way. But he'll have that support. Here's Flickless.
I'm going to recheck this. So said Aura up. Pop flash for his duelist. Cloud and Flickless, though, put this one to bed.
And the 2 major things that PRX are going to have to overcome to win this out on attack, I feel, when you're playing against GX on defense, is their willingness to aggress, throw set plays at you. We've already seen on attack the way that they're able to sync up their flashes really well. PRX will have to contend with that, and they'll have to contend with Aura always going for the scoped weapons, being very proficient with them. And then if you're trying to avoid those, you're going into Westside Sight, who is just not an actual Cypher one-trick, but plays Cypher as much as he possibly can because he's so good on the agent, so strong at anchoring. That is going to be the test for PRX.
Already audacious early posturing from Aura up mid. Wanting to claim this space, and no one from PRX looking to challenge top mid themselves. They play to the externalities of the map.
Westside has pushed up quite far into B main, can just play this angle, try to get a headshot tap, run away back to that Cypher setup. If they chase, it's really close for him. Take some damage, definitely needs to be on the run. Do PRX try to accelerate to actually catch him going to backside? There are trips close on this choke. One of them just procced by that clone, destroyed by a shock afterwards.
Beijing able to bring Westside down eventually. I think he was concerned about a push up into his other tripwire. Couldn't play off it.
Something gets backside very quick off that teleport. And now GX having to play a 4-on-5 retake, make that 3-on-4.
Spike planted.
Aura turns up with the operator. It's more than Forsaken can handle.
PRX had to buy very late coming through B main. I think he'll potentially be this critical factor if GX do go for the retake.
It's being smoked for. GX trying to cover that at least. Now making away towards switch. It's actually something back in the side, got picked off. What a flash! What a setup for Flickless. And Ara's got himself a rifle to work with now. Patman about to be swarmed. Finds the first. That was the Blade Storm now down for Ara. Divided the rescue off. A good timing out of B main. Gets the Speedway. Flickless now has to dance. Dodge. Duck, dip, and dive.
He's gotten it to half.
Divide over the top, though, is able to put him out of the game. But man, that was as close as it gets. There have been no clean hits from PRX here. GX fighting tooth and nail.
Grabinho had gotten it to half for Flickless as well there. Jing again over the top. Done that on the pistol round. This time catches out that very low HP Westside trying to retreat back sight. Good attempt, and I like as well that once GX get a couple kills here, they realize, okay, one of these guys is going to be late B main. We just have to get to the site ASAP. Go forward.
Yeah,
but then Patman
just run out of time.
Yeah, Patman does a good job there, but Divide closes things out. Pretty sick round.
Still a buy for GX though. These have been very, very costly. Attack side wins for PRX. Costly as they've been though. It's a 2-round lead that's secured themselves after a very weird start to this half.
The The cash for both teams looking pretty dismal after this bye, by the way. This is a very important round in that regard.
Paranoia here from Grabino in response. Saw one come from PRX. Hunter's Fury now active, and Flickless tries to step out, take the fight on his own. Grabino will be called on as well. Ara on top of the wall, made use of Jing's architecture to his favor. Down to 2 PRX. Need this spike recovered, but Ara's not going to leave that area for free.
Both GX players on the way. No way, Ara's is looking over top. Is that it? Yeah, he's got the angle. Patman goes down. It's all on Devi in the clutch. He won it out last round, but this one, surely not, right? Too many GX players alive.
And look at them starting to encroach now, especially behind this Al drone. Ara knows he can probably play off that. Arc Rose for Devi doesn't get him enough equity in the 1 versus 3. And step by step, GX are staying alongside PRX in this race.
Ara getting some very, very high impact moments in this second half. He has been on point. Rookie debut at a global event. Kill leader in EMEA Stage 2 for a reason. Up to 16, now tied with something at the top of the board. And as I mentioned, that round economy was tragic for both teams, of the utmost importance that either of them had taken on. Now GX have a real opportunity to tie up this game at 9. They just have to handle a PRX eco, couple sheriffs, something, Devi with the 2 of them.
Trying to imply a pocket for themselves for that smoke forward in B main by the attackers. 0 Point only spots out the Sage here.
Something going to keep control of B main.
So being happy to make noise as he runs away from B main.
Nice on this eco round though that PRX do get access to the orbs across the map, can round the world it. When we get to the next buy, they're going to have likely 4 ultimates. I mean, pretty much guaranteed Devi will at some point get a kill, go down. Either way, we'll have the Steel Garden.
GX have seen enough though to stack correctly for this eco push off PRX. A Ghost and a Sheriff's all they really got to work with now, so this Outlaw should feast. Ara gets his, Grabino happy to stand on the site and fight, but he's down by the Ghost player. Gino now have his hands full with the play out from Tree. Flickless belatedly brings him down. Something with a TP forward onto the side, but that spike's still loose out in main. And Flickless has no reason to leave that fairly passive position. Devi had a good hold. Crosshair placement broken. And so is the lead of PRX.
So they get those orbs, they get 4 of their ultimates ready to go. A bit of damage could have been nice, given the GX economy is not off the ground just yet. And if they kept it honest and win this next round with a lot of ults, they could have gotten control of the game back. But hey, even still, they'll be happy to just get to this gun round with the ults they've got. Timeout called from Alex now. Cooking up the game plan with them to ensure that they win. Right, what is the plan here for GX with a few players towards mid? They've been doubling up Grabino, Flickless towards Cat early round a lot.
This goes here.
Do they try to go for something proactive on a round where they know PRX will have some kind of big ult play in, as the idea? And yeah, they do. I think that's a good move. Try to do something to disrupt the plan that Alex has just provided to the team. And the timeout!
They walked into it. This is not the first time we've seen this push up in the mid for GX.
Grabino can stay pretty damn aggro because he can teleport whenever he wants. Yeah, he's just going to do that now after getting the first kill. Safe line, but they've got the advantage. Just get out. It's totally fine, right?
Gate crash at home, really.
Smoke off, so the res can come through onto something. That's 1 ultimate expended for PRX. Very important one, obviously. So, though it always feels bad that your opening kill amounts to effectively nothing, hey, you got a crucial ult out of PRX, so...
But that's your early mid-control smoke burn.
Who's next?
By Forsaken.
And now an immediate pivot to B main, where this dimensional drift will be used by something. You will soon learn that the B site is absolutely free for the taking. PRX can maneuver their way in and will be headed towards just a big 5-on-5 retake in which Devi has the Steel Garden ready to go, but Market not smoked off. Patman, Cotton, GX, it looks like they want to accelerate.
They don't have the smoke because they had to use it in order to get the res up land. Already PRX's util is being taxed before they even hit this B site. The slow warp, though, towards defense side spawn denies any anchor, any fight for space for GX. They have to play retake now.
PRX will have to get a really good timing out of B main. They have 2 players there right now. Paranoia into the Steel Garden. It looks like they want to fight.
It's timely.
No, they're going to take it slow.
Devi and something opt to just stay in B main, just to ratchet the suspense up to 10. Primary's now going to be available. Devi tries to swing off that with Edge. West side inside the fight. Flickless down. Guarino finds his. And GX! Unreal! Gladiators inside this B site. A hard-fought round that gets them the lead.
What a retake. That is astounding from GX. They open it with this kill, trade it for the res, sure. But then from there, in the site, I mean, West Side just deletes both anchors.
Enemy remaining.
He is in outrageous form at the moment. PRX were fully divided 2 and 2, 2B main, 2 on site. I mean, Alex is questioning why they're so stacked up in main.
But this, I feel no.
No, I mean, the money was good enough that, you know, there's going to be a half by some level, right? So they'll certainly be ready for that. It's just so important again to note as we get back into this that round loss for PRX on the prior one. They used 3 ultimates, 3 of them. Res, Steel Garden, Dimensional Drift. GX, no commitment. They have Hunter's Fury and the Null Command. When we get into the buy round after this, PRX would love to, at the very least, force them to use those ults on a round here where they've bought Stingers. That would be a solid consolation prize.
Look at this dynamic setup here for GX. Now into mid. Ara is now taking that timing, taking that map control. Confident that he can post up here and look towards tiles. It's going to be a fast hit coming from B main. Ara is going to try and wrap around pretty quickly, if I'm not mistaken. Westside, though, just, flat with all this. Util and Cloud come to the rescue. These guys, man, it is against Stingers in fairness. But they have got each other's backs for real. Forsaken is to fight inside the site under the effects of his Null Command. Can't make use of any of that Util. And Ara pops him.
So that is one ultimate expended for the sake of GX to win that round. Can't blame them for using it. Those side anchors were under a hell of a lot of pressure. With the teleport right on top of Westside, the Cloud had his back.
Westside was done. The Cloud is not ready for that.
And then again, just look at the way he gets on that angle and the crouch to keep the crosshair on the headshot angle. He is a crazy good anchor.
GX already emerging as one of the most compelling stories of this VALORANT Champions 2025. 3 rookies, taking it currently to
wow, and
many
they've
would
gone for
consider
the
the best.
push straight away, but PRX already. Hunter's Fury a bit too late.
Cloud's Crunch is probably one of the least novel plays in the GX book. Something PRX have definitely seen before. That one is shut down.
That is a classic Ascent play. Teams have been running that since the dawn of time in different variations, but hey, it still works frequently enough that there's nothing wrong with mixing it in. Cloud catches something on the cross, now 1 versus 3. They have an opportunity to isolate anything else. The IGL for GX, but individually has been no slouch in this tournament, far from it in fact.
He was 23-9 on Sunset against Sentinels, plus 15 kills deaths across the entire series.
But Forsaken on that crouched angle, a bit too quick for Cloud to deal with. Crosshair not ready for that, so PRX able to capitalize on a round where they absolutely nullify this aggression from GX. And the timings end up being a little bit off because Cloud is waiting for that recon to land before sending out the Hunter's Fury. So the pace of that was a little bit too slow, with the players actually pushing down, with R getting through tiles to push out of B main. Rare moment, honestly, for GX.
Against the reigning champions from Toronto and giving them a heck of a go.
PRX.
Look at this top mid grouping.
Can they get back into this must-win round of GX? They'll be on match point. The economy for the defenders still strong at the moment. Patman is built to that Hunter's Fury, and honestly, you know, PRX, one thing they have done a great job of on this attack side is controlling the orb game, right? Despite using it just a couple rounds ago, Devi is almost at that Steel Garden.
But in doing so, they often give up mid early, which has allowed for these plays from GX through it. This time, 3 players up mid, they are going for it.
All the way up mid, use that wall to cross from spawn so you can't get shot, flash for lane, something ready to go in.
Cloud and Westside fully anchored for this now, though they are tucked inside Boathouse. Cypher U2 coming up, and Patman's trying to clear them out. The perfect opener, but Cloud is ready on the swing.
2,
and there's more coming. He might just be ready. What a flash from Flickless again! The setup is too good. Ara gets involved. Cloud's able to hold his own, and PRX are down to just Patman, who was supposed to be the one that opened the way up. Let them move in behind this Hunter's Fury. Now he's got to do it himself. This could be the map.
30 seconds left.
Aura on the angle, ready to go. The double swing out. I mean, GX, they come into this playing the oldest comp in the book for Ascent, the classic, and you don't really see it too much anymore. And I think it's valid if you have questions about, man, they're still running this. But then you watch them play it, and look at the timing on this. The flash over the top with the double bounce, Recon comes out. It is just perfect from them. I mean, they are maximizing the tools that this comp has. So impressive.
Flickless adds another 2 assists off a devastating flash.
We're up to 24 now. 1 round away from taking map 1 against PRX.
Ara is basically walking on palm fronds this game. That is how well he is being set up for success.
Retrieving flash.
All right, just straight up B hit off the steel guard and a device, been able to get quite quickly. West side relegated to just that. Sheriff as PRX are on the entry. Cage about to drop. Can he get the skill on a Forsaken? No. Sheriff not strong enough.
Seen him find those we need to see. Classic W gaming from PRX now. They have that massive advantage weapons-wise. They're able to leverage it to get this B-side control, but eventually GX can reach for those primaries once more. Sage Wall, there's got a gap in it, so Flickless has to show himself briefly with that little gap. Something working those angles pretty effortlessly, and there's a slow warp that will waylay Flickless further.
Robinho working through B main. We'll discover that there are no PRX players there this time, everyone on site. No reason for GX to not go for this. Only 1 round left, and they have a ton of money, but it's something who's ready to clean things up.
Okay, don't know who wins that one. Flickless at 10. And we know just how solid things have been for GX. They've got decent money here. But now to get 2 guns out of the hands of PRX as Pacific's #1 seed stays alive in map 1.
Just keeping it simple, straight up Big B execute with the Steel Garden. You know that GX have been anchoring this site hard. Westside is always playing there. You know you're at least going to catch him right. So they get in, able to draw out those cages, they wait things out. The Forsaken swings through. He's only got the Sheriff Westside. He can't win that.
Dubai had to pop his ult really hastily because that 0 point was about to turn his abilities off. But they had to go there. So round 24 comes up. GX still with a map win at their fingertips. Putting PRX out of commission is a hard ask, but look at his mid-take again. PRX play more towards an A side of the map. They don't get involved here, and they don't see Ara coming.
It is the last round of this game, potentially, and GX play with no fear at all.
And a real start from GX. They pick Ascent, and they have got to look for every single round. It's like Paris fashion.
I want to feel that that's not indicative of some kind of downtrend. They're sticking to the same comp. GX played this a couple times late in Stage 2, really against only the cream of the crop EMEA teams. They seem to only play this map against some of the best in the game. This one obviously follows that trend. PRX love this double duelist here. They're pushing out, taking some space A main early.
Look at this already. B door opened up by GX. They get that mount control.
GX love this play. They love taking C mound, opening door, fighting into B main. When
Fast
Aura
rotates.
has an op, they'll do that as well later. But yeah, PRX, they are just on the move. They want to get into this A site. Westside is anchoring, heavily committed.
This wrap is going to come from GX, but it's going to take some time to get up from rubble. In the meantime, Westside has to hold on, and the clone catches him out.
Yeah, that's the wrong Yoru, my friend. GX, obviously, as we were saying, they were very fast out of C. They're all now on this flank. And PRX, they are aware of the situation. Look at the way they position themselves on the site. Taking space towards heaven is a really nice idea. Jin can even wrap back towards stairs. This is going to be tough for GX.
Oh, taking shots though through the smoke. Robinho pushing up onto stairs. That's Jing out of the picture. Now PRX knocked down to 4. Paranoia comes on through. Something no found cloud as he attempted to get into the site. And now the challenge towards upper. Ara wins it out, but finds himself alone. And Forsaken will swoop in to give PRX the start they need.
Yeah, they really, I think, inevitably cement themselves the win when they just flip the site, get into heaven. Even Jing, he loses that duel on stairs, a little unfortunate, but ultimately still, they're at a man disadvantage, having to retake with 2 players in heaven for the attackers. Like, PRX just positionally play that well.
If there's a fast rotate coming, PRX know they can't afford to be slowed down by stalled util. That Viper Wall on A, they're just disrespected. They've got to run in a tree. They've got to play with that speed and give themselves a player advantage on site. So now, anti-eco here for GX. They're, again, really active on look at what they're doing over at A, right? Really a lot of dynamism here. How do you punish this sort of fast rotate style?
I mean, they can just exploit GX's rotates by drawing them really quickly. Wow, okay, Westside just, all right. random right click. Oh my god, he
Another
almost one-shots Divide.
down to 20. Cloud has to back away though from this paint shell. A lot done here by West Side. GX ready to fight into the side as the smoke clears, but something cleverly picks Ara off with a wider angle and then waits for GX to walk into his crosshairs. 3 for something. PRX, no nonsense on this anti-eco.
On the verge of some real danger, but they are able to win out the important duels at the end when GX go for that multiple player swing. PRX make the most of their superior weaponry, and they can have a pretty competent bonus round now with a couple of those rifles. Full bar coming through for GX. Looks like they want to go for some of that early mound presence. When they do that, it is always initiated by Cloud. And then they'll maybe go for that door open again if no one's there. Push towards B. This is fast for PRX to get a control.
Yep. No C's nade combo here out of GX, so they know the raise probably isn't here.
Same from GX. Pushed all the way through door, then Prowler into B main. And with all this noise, PRX just want to accelerate into A yet again.
Forsaken is solo there, pretty much on his own, and Flickless takes it from top stairs. Now into the side we go. Something trying to push in deep. West Side has the Prowler to deal with it. Shoots straight through it. And it's Flickless activating from pit. My goodness, PRX, nothing but scorch marks on this A site.
I'm going to need a replay on that West Side kill.
Run it back.
Prowler, not going to lie, going to need a replay on that. Was that intentional? Hard to say, honestly. PRX had some good util there to try and get an advantage fight against the anchor suit. I mean, specifically West Side. There's a Prowler in his face.
And if this GX anchoring is moderately successful, there's enough time bought for the entire rest of the team on these fast rotates through B main to help out at the site.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at that. The idea from PRX of just, okay, they're pushing with 3 players on C again. GX love having 3 players on C. Just hit into the site with less players, but tough to do so when the anchor is West Side, where he is at his most proficient. It's just Divide going to go ahead and save in this instance.
Look where these trap wires are, basically untouched. Forsaken pushed ahead or pushed towards that Viper wall and got picked off very early. It's such a nice opener from Flickless.
Yeah, I got to see that one on the replay as well.
He just rotates around the pit, right? Kills the tree player. Dude, I do not want to go up against Flickless or West Side trying to hit these sites, man. Or both. Nah, forget about it. That's brutal. But it's either that, or you take a mound fight against 3 GX players, including their Raze and Fade. Pick your poison.
I feel like it's so much more common to have that Viper towards the C side, but comboing it with the Cypher util here, okay, yeah, that's what I thought something like that happened. And the Cloud even gives the supporting haunt. I mean, that's a crazy kill. And the haunt comes in over the top at the perfect time.
The West Side of his crosshair set for, the swing around the corner. He felt like there would be a fast swing off that Prowler. He was right.
All right, PRX now onto their full buy. Something just 1 orb away from getting the dimensional drift very early. Has started both this map and Ascent really hot in terms of the kills, in terms of getting an early dimensional drift.
This looks like much more of a default defense side setup for GX.
And now it looks like PRX, they want to make some sound here towards A, and then something can just teleport over. Thought maybe they were going to try to bring him over towards that C side to get the orb. They had mound control.
Something just did not like the prospect of being dug out of rubble there. So opted to leave instead. Going to work this rubble, re-clear it slowly. The Haunt into that B side reveal Ara.
And this time, obviously set up adjustment from GX on this defense, having that duo of West Side and Flickless towards C. The other trio, emphasis on A. Aura in a fairly committed position. Grabinho trying his best to support, trying his best to draw attention, and he does. So 1 for 1, but a fast trade from Divide.
Ara getting his is big. He took a lot of damage just crossing to that position, but blinker and you'll miss it, folks. GX get hammered. They're over towards that baby door direction. Divide with 3 already. West Side doesn't have a lot of business, I think, being anywhere near the B sides.
He is shredding them apart, and off of all that distraction, you just had Patman, Forsaken, kind of biding their time towards B main to take the perfect moment to swing out, get a kill, get the plant.
How deep do you think the playbook for GX is on a map like this, as opposed to their Ascent?
I mean, that was something I was mentioning to you before this game. I feel like watching them on this map, compared to some of the others like Ascent, especially Sunset, where it feels like they have an infinite amount of set plays, I don't think they have that same depth on Lotus. The map has been okay for them. It's been mostly close games, close in win, close enough in their losses, but You know, like those other maps, I don't think they have the same number of plays to get them consistent wins.
In the EMEA, up until the playoffs, Lotus was only accounting for about 16% of the PRX maps in EMEA, the lowest since 2023. So definitely, you know, EMEA teams gone off the boil on this map a little bit. Especially Fnatic used to always prefer to go over to that one, but they've not really touched it.
Yeah, very different to PRX, who played this map
Yes.
over 20 times.
Lotus aficionados.
They love playing it.
They probably have played as many Lotus maps themselves as have been played entirely in EMEA.
Now GX are back to the triple on C. Gravino pressed up very far forward. Ready with that paranoia. It's swing out left from Aura. 1-for-1. Forsaken happy enough to just teleport away after the kill.
They had to know there was going to be a mount fight brewing here, PRX, if they've seen the tape. Now, of course, see the exchange of smokes. That one way is going to be renewed by Gravino. He is insisting on maintaining the control of this part of the map. PRX are going to have to allow it. B pivot?
Yeah, work towards this B main off the Prowler. Can show some presence in different areas of the map, something in a position where maybe he could catch off some kind of rotate or at least just work some space towards A.
Oh, Cloud! Unreal. Patman has a feeling for the timing. He was right.
Just shows the tracers. Something has this dimensional drift for a late round. And GX have pivoted 2 players towards this C side, which is seeming like the right call.
How quickly Cloud rotated off B. We need to be here now for this anchoring attempt. Gravino does not have a paranoia to work with, and this is a dimensional drift that will allow something to pave the way. Cloud a little bit low after that exchange with Patman earlier, and that was a clone scene. Here come PRX ready to throw down, get their hands dirty on the site, but the rotates are coming in. West side already going to set up here alongside Flickless in Waterfall, and something wasn't quite ready for it. Swings a little bit wider than he was ready to account for, and Divine now has to get it done. Finds Cloud, Steel Garden to give him the edge. Doggedly defending that spike location, and this will slow things up for the retake. Flickless and West side hold an approximation of a crossfire for the time being. Once those weapons return, they'll be ready, and Flickless is there. PRX have to hand over the second round, as even the Steel Garden is not enough.
Respect the usage, though, from Divine. Awkward little moment for something. All good. GX go 1-for-1 on the early C fight. They're kind of standard. This was a pivotal moment in the round. Obviously, like, it's just some random spam from Patman onto a commonly held angle, but then the tracers are spotted.
I mean, they
Nice.
started shooting at the same time. Cloud is less so responding to the tracers and just thinking of the same timing as Divine. Very, very solid. West side up to 5-2. Anchoring prowess on A on full display already. Will be populating the C side, and we might see a rubble fight instead from GX now with their raise and fade over here. There's the haunt.
Teleport across from Forsaken to play towards that door. GX pivoting the setup, just kind of bouncing, ping-ponging West side back and forth from that A site to the C site to keep PRX guessing, who are fully invested into this round. Would love to get that showstopper access for Jing. Or finally, with the AWP, what a tap! That's mental.
Yeah, there's that individual prowess from something on display. Get a weapon upgrade for himself, going to Baby Door. We'll have some backup that might pivot towards a B hit from that. Flickless is going to be the one that has to stand tall in the face of this level of pressure. Steps up, knows it's coming, going to try and take matters into his own hands, but something still has the Guardian and still tears his head off. 3 with the Guardian. Bro, it refuses to be stopped.
They're not even going to the B site. PRX are just on their way over to A. All right, little bit of a TDM round there, felt like. What was that first shot, though? Stunner from back rubble.
Oh my
Wow,
goodness.
I mean, the jiggle to bait the shot, then swings a bit wider, instant tap.
Yeah, he's still a little different.
Holy
shit is right.
What a hit.
4-2 is the round score now for PRX. That time, yeah, no aggressive mound presence. PRX didn't actually see the raise, I think, off the rip, so weren't sure. But there was no explosive fight at rubble like we thought there might have been.
And that was a super important round in terms of the economy. Both sides were quite low, but now PRX with an opportunity to really stabilize if they get a clean anti-eco. But GX want to get in quick. West side 1-for-1. Back sight, but under the pressure of the Prowler. Yeah,
he doesn't shoot through the Prowler.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
PRX go very aggressive. No, they have a chance here to really just stack up an important 5th round for themselves. Grabinho, but lately going to take that door toggle. Ara joining him in mounds. There's an Arc Rose out there that does confirm the 2 players' presence. And they know full well that the Razor Vine is going to be in their way. Divide decides to step ahead of it though and get this one out of the way nice and quick.
There's something where Patman would love to get another kill here to get close to their ultimates, and yeah, that will be the case. Obviously, GX for this buy round have the full arsenal. 5 ults ready to go. PRX at the moment have just been having their, just instilling their will upon the map. They are taking space everywhere, pretty much anytime they want. Moderate amount of success for GX with the mound fights, but that is about it. Outside of that, yeah, they're getting away with everything.
This is 3 rounds in a row. They've got the race fade at A instead. So they're now leaving West Side solo on C as opposed to on A. Are we going to have a fast hit towards B here behind this showstopper?
Certainly could be the case. Prowler going to go right through main. Showstopper in. Jing blinded up in a lot of trouble. Doesn't know what the hell is going on, but something able to catch out Flickless.
Nightfall pretty important here. It's going to be a showstopper now coming from GX. Ara needs to get back in, and it goes 1-for-1. Trade of razors. Beautifully done by Grabinho. Something out there on the site. Does get picked off. The Nightfall for Cloud helping to a great degree, and there was no plant, no full commitment for PRX. Now they're going to pivot off this side, but Westside is going to see it coming.
Yeah, now they know that Patman is just that lone hanging player towards B, trying to cause some distraction with the Prowler. Forsaken out wide, wants to jump, try to bait out some kind of shot.
Divide's got the op here. He can post. This is still dangerous.
But do they expect Cloud tucked in the corner?
No, they found him. Now there should be a swing here. Yep, Grabinho looking to try and take the fight from Babydoor, but Divide, quick peek and gets back to safety. Little did he know, Grabinho will be walking into a triple face.
Grabinho did work himself into a good position there, to be fair, just couldn't connect the shot. Now it's all on West Side. Trying to make his way through heaven.
Spike planted.
Just drop himself down, take the fight. Forsaken the first to go. He has a feeling for Divide in that corner and chunks him down to 61.
Unfortunately, just has no util to work with. Even a cage could be nice here, just to temporarily throw in front of Tree.
PRX is trying to make sure this doesn't get isolated off, and Divide is ready with the op. Nicely done. Divide opens things up and gets Cloud out of that position behind the box near Babydoor. That's an important pick.
I'll tell you, the attack off Sentinel, I think on Lotus in particular, is just so strong at the moment. Trades going through off that showstopper. PRX is doing a great job slowing the game down there, pivoting away.
Who gave you all
Okay, Divide.
Yeah, it's really feeling like PRX are just a cut above on this map. They're so experienced on it, lower in the pool, and with that sick one-tap, right? So, dude, even at that, such an important piece of the success that they have had here, it's just not a factor.
It was so big against Sentinels, right? Once they started to, they lost 6 rounds, I think, at the start of Haven. Then they got Ara going, and then it was curtains.
Prowler goes under the trip. It's a little bit higher up. That is awkward. Jing is caught, but yeah, he is dealt with. That's crazy.
Yeah, easily handled that. It's time for Util, a big problem. Something willing to stand and fight. Remember, this is a GX Sheriff Eco round, and Flickless is commanding attention on the site. Divide, very little to do here. Smoked off it entirely. Still has a spike to hand. At the very least, can have a crack at this. The money's in a fine place for PRX to get a bit experimental. Maybe he can be rewarded with some patience here on this look towards C-Link.
GX have recovered the guns. Flickless knows that he should not be giving anything to Divide. Wall is up so he can reposition towards sight. That is such a funny little adjustment that works out, just putting the trip higher than the Prowler, but it still catches a player on entry. That is really sick.
Yeah, in theory, PRX have a ton to deal with that, right? They have the Prowler. Of course, they have the Yoru clone that can tease it out. Nicely done. I mean, Jing had nowhere to go, and he needed to get into Babydoor with that judge. The perfect way to shut him down. So it's been Divide and something, though, really have put out strong performances, and both of them have made use of the op at times, or the Guardian, and made it look like an op.
Now, does Divide dare use the Steel Garden he's about to get? He
used
it in the 1v2, but yeah, no, I think he's going to probably die first, sadly. Or just walks in, takes the timing, gets the free kill, gets the defuse, and GX The Thrifties are what honestly propelled them back into the game on Ascent. Though, that being said, the score was much closer throughout that entire game. It was not nearly as dominant for PRX.
Oh.
Yep, and there's that high up trip. Flickless catches the 1 kill, and then just floods right back in with Westside. There's multiple players coming through Baby Door. Pretty rapid from GX to convert there.
And that's a great place to fight with Sheriffs. They're very much within your effective range. It's in your wheelhouse. Great MasterCard Thrifty. One of many from GX we've seen over this series.
Just mentioned it, but Aura was able to recover that op with the kill on Devi at the end there. He was still carrying that. So we'll see if that can be crucial to them getting back in the game. They love to fight for Mount here, then open door and have Aura already on the angle towards B main. Yeah, and that is going to be the case, but, you know, no one really ready to fight. Something is making all the distraction towards B right now.
A pinch on the B here from Upper could be interesting. Something! Okay, as the game crash out of there. It's going to be Ara opening up the account. Jing was found first. Op in the hands of Ara is always a dangerous prospect. But with the Sheriff, Guarino can't find his way out of the corner. The Steel Garden definitely getting its value here. West side, though, and Ara still able to populate the site. And as soon as he got the Phantom back in hand, he put it to work to the tune of 2 kills.
And Westside saves Aura's life there. Guaranteed.
It's a weird angle that Cloud's on. It's going to be hard for Devi to dig him out.
Yeah, much like this last round. GX don't want to give anything to Devi in this situation now that they've got the advantage. But it is giving opportunity for something to just flank all the way through spawn.
He's making the right choice here going from Link's side.
It will I mean, how does Aura, and why would he have any sense for the timing? This is crazy.
I mean, there's something gate crashing back to rubble. The fact that he's got here is pretty absurd. Westside is watching for it anyway, Wyatt.
GX just adjusted their setup at the perfect moment. And now it'll just simply be on Devi to save. These B-holds have been pretty standout from GX.
Devi makes a choice in the previous round, Wyatt, to try and plant, to try and win in a 1v3 and not save that op. He hands it over to Ara, who uses it to open up and smash Jing as he tries to fast play onto B. Maybe regretting that somewhat.
And it did, yeah, that play towards C-Mount, yeah, it does end up working. The classic from GX, they run that constantly, especially when Aura has the op and can just post up on B main through the door. Gets that free catch. We'll see this on the replay.
Yep. So sick, man.
Yeah, GX do this constantly. And Jing was ready for the angle, he swung out on it, but going up against it off. Westside comes up so huge to save Aura there. And then they just maneuver that setup a little bit differently so they can actually cover that flank through spawn. So much time had expired that they had to have a sense that something could be on some kind of really big wrap around the map like that.
So at first it's a MasterCard Thrifty where the Sheriff sing on the B site. And now GX fight through the Razorvine to get to within 2 rounds here.
PRX are so heavily invested into this round. If GX take it here, they'll be on a bad bye PRX that last round. A real shot at actually bringing this back to 6.
They don't want to deal with this Mount fight this time. PRX instead head over towards A, always looking towards West side site. Oh my god, this guy is just something else, man.
Yeah, you just really don't want to be headed towards West side site.
Where are you supposed to go? Home?
You roll the die, 3 options. Sadly, you hit his site.
All right. Flickless here, Razorvine blooming in front of him. No success with spam through that cyber cage. West side wants to get active on the side. He walks, though, up on Jing, who this time is ready to throw down into the back of the site. Jing goes and out to upper. Full site control for PRX. And Giant X have Ara and Cloud. We need to work together to piece this out.
And those anchors who have typically been an absolute wall, just depleted by PRX on a very important round for their money. Aura into this 1 versus 3. Does he even want to risk it with the op? Actually, yeah, he has a ton of cash. He can go for the play. Why not? Just send it.
Time is short. The harder he can make this next round for PRX, the better. It will be the last round of the half. Ara, since getting that op in hand, we've seen what he can do with it. He's absolutely dynamic.
It gets a showstopper. So, hey, little consolation prize. He'll take it. He will take it. Get out of the round with that.
Messy round for PRX. You mentioned a big investment there.
GX, or rather, sorry, when they were anchoring that site, Jing did a great job on the entry here. He gets that 1v1, and then as soon as he hears the teleport, realizes that it was Gramino getting into backside, swings before he even gets out of that. That was just a heads-up play.
GX in the 2v4 end up taking 3 players, though. Make it expensive. PRX owned this last round of the half. Still mostly bought up. A couple of half armors here. Forsaken not with full util, had to buy down completely. Gonna have to be enough. No op here for Ara.
Instant sees with the nade this time. Not going to catch the flash. It's amazing. And Jing collects all three.
PRX knew exactly what they were walking into this time.
Fastest round I've ever seen in Valorant. I mean, what was that, 5 seconds?
Very no-nonsense stuff. This time, PRX meet GX head-on. Love to see that.
What was the clock on that? Genuinely, was that 5 seconds? 6 seconds?
We're about to see. All right, while we do see this again, we're going to go a quick break. We'll come back, of course, with the next half of Lotus. PRX now, potentially more confident, ready to take those kind of fights. We've got Jing and Divine with sheriffs to hand here.
All of GX looking like they're just ready to go at this B site. Stacked up with 4 players. Cloud has 1 Prowler, 1 Haunt.
Hey, the stack, so full retake protocols in effect now for PRX. GX get up on this B side.
Luckily, something doesn't actually take that teleport. Just walking down out of A. Westside is going to hear all of this. If he plays it patiently, he might be able to backstab everybody.
Yep, they are not checking for this. All the timing is good for Westside, and he's able to convert it into a second. Paranoid for Forsaken, but he still gets dinked. Bro, he's down to 4. Able to take the fight with some right clicks, but once again, PRX disrupted as they're trying to set up defensively.
How many late round situations have we seen Deviant like this? And yet somehow he's still putting up crazy numbers, but he's in unwinnable spots.
Not this time. Forsaken at 4 with pressure and shots through the smoke. Giant Eggs, what a start here. Working the map. And leaving that insert back towards the B main flood. Beautifully done by Westside.
That is so well played. Here's all the steps, patient, picks the perfect timing. PRX just not suspecting there would be someone waiting outside of C whatsoever.
Good. Translation, good.
Westside now up at 14 kills, having a hell of a series at the moment.
So again, GX still want to try and throw curveballs, no matter what side of the map they're on. PRX pretty serious about this A side control. We'll just see some health bars affected there as they're decayed briefly by that Viper wall that GX are going to play off.
GX hear a lot of noise towards A, so they want to leave. Why not go elsewhere? And PRX, they're saying, hey, we made a lot of noise. They're probably going to leave. Let's go to the other side of the map.
They're pinging the expected location of the arc rows there as well, up on the wall. Devi had made use of that already by the looks.
PRX are very ready for this. They knew what GX were going to do.
Ara trying to make a swing. It's risky business trying to post up at that angle, and something's going to punish him now. The paint shells catch Westside by the heel as he tries to abscond quickly. Cloud paranoia it up, but Flickless is able to bail him out. And now the push through the smoke. He's going to be devastated. PRX feed themselves into the wood chipper. Grabinho more than happy to oblige.
PRX just couldn't resist the temptation of trying to continue that sequence of kills. They just couldn't resist. They had to. They had the stack. Maybe they could have waited, tried to get the guns later, allow a rotate. I mean, Alex he's livid.
Yep.
He is livid as to why they tried to go that fast.
It's that
they're out of sync with their paranoia with Forsaken coming out of B.
Oh, the paranoia was much earlier onto Cloud. It's that element of rascality in PRX that they can't deny. It takes a will for them and runs them headlong into a brick wall.
A very quick take of A now from GX, already working their way into tree, which is being smoked off, but it's Grabinho who's gotten into stairs. Might catch Forsaken on the rotate.
Here's this all of it. Forsaken thought he was clever getting up on the corner, but Grabinho was far further forward than he expected.
What a kill. Has the paranoia lineup for backside as well. He catches Patman.
Patman out in the open. Ara able to take that fight, and Jing knew he had the dark. He knows this question, the better part of Valor now, and the pressure is on. What a correction! 3 for Jing, and the spike goes loose. It's at the back of the site. And GX had to get Flickless and Westside up here to wrest it out of his grip.
Enemy remaining.
And what have they got to do with absolutely no tools? PRX are now everywhere.
Oh, man.
That flooding effort to support Jing, who really does it all. The weapons for GX just not good enough, and the aim from Jing is really sickening.
But Grabinho got so deep. The kill upstairs, pick on something, paranoia. Surely that's enough to work with. But the timing's not there. The spacing for GX as they try and capitalize. They only get the 1 kill off it.
That first player was a little bit too early. The Sheriff's just not really enough for the trade there either. Really, really sick sequence of kills though from Jing. That was beautiful.
Jing quiet, honestly, up until this point. Now in the 10 spot.
Could go for some kind of crazy double satchel, but the showstopper off here. He can get some insane distance if he wants to do it.
Yeah, PRX looking for a delayed rebel fight by the looks.
It's so great. You never see 2 players stacked up there. That is so silly.
There are a lot of things I've never seen until PRX do them. Taken back onto the A site now. Has to think twice about setting up in tree. Paranoia drawn out. Now as the door opens, the Gorbino's hoping to get ahead.
Jing on the rotate over towards A Heaven. If GX commit, they're still staring down the barrel of this showstopper.
Oh, thought he had a timing, but Gorbino has room to recover.
And now Jing is just solo, all alone.
Done this again. Done this before. Ah, he gets chomped on. Paranoid, Prowler out, and still something controls that high ground. He's gonna rip the showstopper. Gorbino can't get away in time. This time, Jing relies on his teammates for success. And that's also a solid strategy. West side to the back of the side, it's something felled. Patman around the corner, sees in place, and West side is an easy target, a tasty morsel.
Patman threw up a great haunt in the middle of that fight that was unbroken by GX. I believe that's how something was able to get the kill from Heaven. Arrived just on time, but would have been, I think, maybe a little too late. Yeah, if this haunt didn't come in, he wouldn't have been able to support, but look at this.
And Jing also just creates space for that showstop. Look at Gorbino, immediately trying to get away. No chance, correct hit.
Let's go! Holy shit, man! Good job!
Great flood there by PRX, something so important from upper there.
That was huge from Patman to get that piece of utility off for something to support Jing, who was about to be overwhelmed. And it sent GX reeling onto this pretty tough little half-buy. Bucky involved, even West Side opportunity, but shots not connecting.
It's a very GX-coded start to the round for PRX. Determined mount control, the opening of B door to force the attackers back further. This map control now is being taken and given hand over fist by GX. They just don't have the weapons to thrive in this scenario. Gorbino is able to get deep now. The iconic Bucky skin will be shut down. Devi for 4.
Devi is hitting on this map, and it's just feeling quite effortless, honestly. Putting up the 19 for 6, playing the Vice. PRX on this map, they are just certainly a cut above. And individually, with Devi heating up, Jing heating up, looking even more dangerous than they were on Ascent.
And insane as these moments have been from GX, they're too few and they're too far between to start to challenge PRX's round total. 11-6 on the scoreboard. Heading into round number 18.
GX is trying to keep it simple with this brawl on A, but PRX are there to fight.
Ara has to go down there. Nothing he could really do. Seized in place by the looks of things. And there's something. Here's PRX now. This is where their bread is buttered. And it never falls butter side. Down, Wyatt. Something. X's with 3.
We have gotten some very fast rounds of Valorant on account of PRX relentlessness, just that willingness to fight. Full brawl in A standard, you get your C's, you get your nade back rubble. So even though Aura is able to capitalize with Jing's really quick push with those double satchels and catching him immediately, just trade it out, post-mortem by the nade. And look at the way that PRX, just all the rest of the players are swinging together.
They're now imposing
Beautiful,
themselves on GX. There was a rubble fight that followed a mound fight. Both successful for PRX, playing up on the defense side. They're going to go for a mound variation here. There'll be nothing to see for them, but maybe a fast flank opportunity.
GX again just out of A, but PRX have map elsewhere. Devi very confident with that swing, I would say.
Something in theory had him covered, but the Rose was not enough to guarantee success there. Well, it's a PRX round, one after another after another.
Last player standing.
Okay, boys.
Yeah, it feels like they really wanted to get this one over with fast. But the eagerness to do so has extended us by at least one more round.
Yeah, brimming with confidence is the polite way of putting it there for PRX.
And I get it. I get it. Devi got a lot of kills, doesn't have a lot of deaths. Well, that one is bold. That one's bold.
Yeah, there's obviously a player right to Devi's left there. All right, some breathing room here for GX, but as the finisher identified, 7 rounds, from here on out need to be won by GX.
And at some point, it's going to be 5 ults for PRX.
Yes.
So it's going to be tough to overcome the fact that they're going to need all those rounds. I'll tell you that.
So again, PRX just flip-flopping this time. It was a bit more aggressive over towards Rubble side. No one actually in the C side at all. Does Grabinho opt to walk up on this? No, Paranoia. He thinks that GX are a bit faster than they actually are. Razorvine's canvassing the ground. This will slow things up slightly, but already GX have purchase in the back of the side.
PRX are more than happy to play this for some kind of retake of Flood. All right, 1-for-1 on the important ults. Actually, it's the Dimensional Drift in very early. Something spotting on multiple players within that Viper's pit, but certainly can't commit at that timing. Will give an opportunity to ping out for the nade, though.
Okay, West side inside the pit. It's a clone that he ends up taking contact against. One buddy thrown in. GX just keeping a toe in the pit to keep it standing, of course. That's been set in place by Flickless.
This is so much pressure from PRX. GX have not, for any moment, felt comfortable enough to try to actually get this spike down. Yeah. But at this point, they've drawn out enough utility that they can.
The pre-plant pit, though, is always kind of dangerous. It gives PRX time to set up and start spamming in. Ara has fallen.
And one more kill for Jing will result in a showstopper. That could be enough to close out this game, bring us to sunset.
Something's had the time now, the freedom to start to swing around. Looks like the box position in C has been smoked out and shut down. But there's Westside in Cloud. Stave off this attempt at their flank. Now Patman and Jing realize there's no point going any further.
Yeah, that's all she wrote on the round. They need to save those rifles so they can get a full buy into the next. So Dimensional Drift, Steel Garden off the table. Some of the very, very important ults that PRX have access to close out the game. And, of course, the round converted. Things looking a little bit more realistic for GX. Yeah, but even still, they had to exchange plenty of their own ultimates to get those out. And we're about to have Showstopper Nightfall for PRX. So the cycle, the dance of ultimates back and forth will continue.
But, I mean, it's worth pointing out that it's a Steel Garden and a Dimensional Drift that don't really give them an edge in all of this round.
Let's go, we can do this.
Yeah, what can they do with that pit up, right? I mean, there's just no real way to get back in. It's in buy. And Patman ready to just throw that early haunt over towards A, so PRX can brawl for that side of the map. GX, let's see if they try to go all in.
There's a horn across the map. C's, though, not quite there. It's Ara getting picked off first, though. Forsaken in position to deal with him as he tried to cross past that rubble corner.
Yeah, just instantly opening that tree door. Entry player for GX removed. Now they have to get their bearings, figure out how to win this out in the 4 versus 5 with 0 ultimates available.
Might see some baby door presence taken up by PRX in a moment. Mindful, though, is Patman about to push off B main, but there's a shield wall there to detect it.
Yeah, and with that Prowler not getting any spots, no reason for PRX to really adjust here in any way. They can retain these spots on A. They're prepped for B if they need to be as well.
The B split coming out. There's that sheer wall in play. How will that be handled? Flickless, though, and Westside. The 2 players should be terrified to fight as they get into the site early. They get past the sheer wall.
Something maybe wanting to go for an aggro play, but couldn't, was delayed. Jing now doubled up, though.
Flickless had to wait for that wall to come down. He's now able to sit in main a little bit further. We'll have a plant. There's the TP here for Forsaken. Smoke on Flickless's position now, and Grabinho attempts to take control. Paranoia comes out, doesn't affect Grabinho though. He's tucked here on the corner, wins 1. Eventually gets overrun, but Jing elsewhere, picked up by Westside, who followed up Grabinho. Great upper presence here for GX. And the money's not good for PRX, they know it. And now Cloud's starting to bring him down 1 by 1. Something has to limp away, beaten black and blue.
What an adjustment. The movement into that second kill from Cloud. That was so lovely. And I think the GX did an excellent job playing into heaven there. Despite being at that man disadvantage, the paranoia that Grabinho threw out was excellent. It connected onto everyone from PRX that were stacked up there. He gets wide, takes that first engagement, instant swing from Westside to get the second, and he backs up at the right time, just plays around the shorty. That was so well done.
Look
Yeah,
how
it's
deep
this
and
moment
deep
here. Look at that perfect little peek from Westside. And look at that adjustment right back to the sidestep from Cloud.
Good job.
Wow, GX is still in it.
So much map control off that paranoia into upper.
Why did we take it from here? It doesn't make sense.
Characteristic frustration here is that it's 3 rounds in a row that GX have been able to snatch out from under PRX's nose.
3 chances for PRX to close this out now. Again, back to the old C's with the nade to take this control towards Rubble, which has been really emphasized by PRX. Many rounds in a row now on this map.
Devi is able to shoulder pick and see a fair few players here. It's going to be a frothy push on towards the C side.
Man.
Slowed down briefly by the smoke.
It felt like GX are really just keeping it simple, big executes, and that's what has begun to work for them.
Batman won off that Nightfall for retake. Showstopper also there for Jing. So PRX likely let this first push go through to the keeper. Play that full retake.
They forced Devi all the way out. But can GX really fight for any additional space? No. Look at the status of the utility. It's very low, just a seize and a haunt. That is all they have access to.
Yeah. Batman would love a kill here. Something to open things up. Ara goes low. Clone there, of course. Complicating things. And there it is. Ara taken down. Not the start they're looking for at all. PRX looking for a retake now as Jing found that Showstopper. And it found Flickless in turn. Cloud tucked here by the side, sees Patman go across. Devi might look for a swing off this, but isn't ready for Cloud to take a timing of his own. Nightfall going to come through here, and Cloud is already off the sights. Fantastic stuff from GX. That was PRX going for the full retake behind the Showstopper. Doesn't quite get him there.
And during crunch time, Cloud has come to life these past couple rounds. Beautiful play there. Didn't work out, but it was kind of cool in the midst of that retake. He threw a haunt over to Waterfall to see if GX could try to spam onto a player. Weren't able to. And just after that happens, PRX, they make their way back in. Jing gets that great Showstopper off.
Cloud has some of the most unreal movement. The little
it's just these little repositions have
reminds
been
me of
great.
Scuba, honestly, in the successful rounds for NRG.
It kind of goes back in.
Not great.
Yeah, not great. They've got sheriffs, just a mix, a smorgasbord of random weapons here. GX full intentions of getting out A, which has been the location that PRX have been most happy to fight for early, as of late, but this time ultimately pretty free.
There's no C's nade combo as the Fade and Raze both over at B. PRX trying again to gamble on the right position, but this allows for a faster reflank.
Very fast reflank, 3 players. There is obviously this trip place behind by Westside that'll need to be broken, unless maybe they want something to just teleport across and they go elsewhere. Regardless, very fast from GX into this very free C site.
Forsaken's mandate, strictly do not die. Hold the paranoia until we're ready to try and flood in.
Flickless is in so much danger. There's a player in blue room as well.
Grabino here sees the clone. Now the Viper wall comes up. This is going to allow PRX to get in position, but also GX to defensively set up behind it. Seas comes in. They are decayed down. Easy targets. Patman with the critical utility at the most important moment. Now the Nightfall comes through onto the side. Cloud here playing through tree. That door is opening. He sees it. Wouldn't have heard it otherwise. It's Jing toying with him, trying to keep him busy, keep his attention, catnips away from the fight, and he wins it out anyway. PRX, as only they know how, claim the map on an awkward...
GX have the most depth in their strat book, which is really, I think, juxtaposed to a talking point from Lotus. And I would say that's very similar for PRX. They have a number of crazy things they like to throw out there with this Sage, which they liked before Sage was even buffed. So it's just very convenient for them.
They rolled Chile Gaming on this too. Both teams have already shown their sunset at Champions. Will that tape matter? Was there enough time to start to integrate an understanding of how one another play?
Something does play great over here, by the way, as he just shuts down the flank with some very smooth taps. And Patman says, why not me too?
Yep, I'm gonna get involved. Don't leave me out.
One ghost headshot, please. And it's down to 2 GX players, one of which is now one-wayed in spawn, the other of which is staring down 2 players over at Link.
Last player standing.
Long-range frenzy, and something just gets forward. He has been absolutely lethal on pistol rounds today.
I mean, he exits that last map with 275 ACS. He's 5-2, first kill, first death. But what's even crazier to me statistically is that PRX, they go down 4v5, what, 15 times?
Yeah,
they
15
win
times.
8 of those rounds. They convert a player disadvantage 8 out of 15 times. That's insane. That is an insane
what happens
conversion.
if they get the first kill?
They are more likely to win the round if they
crazy.
lose the first player, Wyatt.
All right. All classics here for GX, who already honestly have just impressed me by taking a map off PRX, keeping it close on the second. It's just go back to the story of this game. Oh my God. Well, all right, well, I was going to wait a second depending on what Westside did next, but I mean, just seeing GX, who finished 7th, 8th kickoff, 9th, 10th stage 1, and are taking it to the defending champions in PRX, the best team in the world right now. What an ascension for this team over the last few months.
Yeah, what did they change? They just added some rookies to their roster. This round, of course, it's a very lightly held B side, and the Cypher setup is circumvented only the cost of one player, so it ends up being fairly clean. Look there for PRX, heading into a bonus that is got a couple Vandals in the mix. Pretty well board up, all things considered.
Obviously, for as talented as this newcomer team of GX has been, PRX, they're experienced, they're rising to the occasion. Now they just need to close this out on Sunset. Top of the pool for either side. First buy now for GX, and this doesn't really look like much of a bonus buy for PRX, I'll tell you that. They have 4 upgraded fully rifles.
It feels like the business socks are on this map.
Westside, he's just playing with some fun little kill trips over there on B, by the way.
A lesson GX learned against Sentinels and the pips and drilled into them in that halftime we heard is that do not simply pay for flood retakes. Try and get ahead of the game. Re-clear aggressively here on defense. That's going to have to be the game plan. Grabinho does not want to fight A on the corner. Instead, just falls back behind the smoke.
Was adjusting position into sight. Doesn't want to get denied at Link. Wants to be able to support his teammate in Grabinho.
Oh, this aftershock pretty dirty. Jing here low after whatever transpired there. And we got Flickless back on an initiator. Insane util from him.
Wow, the re-clear onto Patman. He is immediately removed from the server. How do PRX react?
If you take your foot off the gas against this team, they're going to re-clear into you. They're going to win these fights. They're going in 2s and 3s. They control that A side there as PRX they let go of the tension a little bit.
30
Give
seconds
GX a way to tempo their way into the round.
It was a cool attempt at that refight with Forsaken teleporting across onto the box, and then you get that swing from Devi timed with it. But the duo from GX, Flickless and Grabinho, refused to miss a shot in that situation.
It always feels like there's a re-clear happening elsewhere behind the stall util on one
seconds
part
left.
of the map. The fault line aftershock to slow PRX down as they try to go to Link side.
I really liked all of the decisions, honestly, that Flickless was making throughout that entire situation. From just before we saw the aftershock from Jing, he pushes all the way through Link into sight to try to beat that timing so he can support Grabinho. They're not just playing for some kind of retake or taking a safe line. No, he doubles up, and then they fight into elbow. Beautiful.
But Grabinho does not fight
remaining.
on first contact. He backs off of that dark cover, gives himself the space to double up with one of his teammates and slow the game down a little bit. Then they can be the ones that take the initiative.
Right now, PRX, they are bought down into this round. Less than 1K credits for every single player on their squad. Westside with the deep cam into B main, so they can prod at that a little bit, but then just have that for later in the round if necessary. But probably won't survive till later in the round. Jing wants to break that. ASAP trap play activated.
Try and play ahead of this fault line here, but very quickly PRX get back. That's a thrust for GX that is avoided.
A good nade thrown there from Jing just to deactivate any acceleration that GX might have had in store for them with that trap play, double stun, relabel fault line. So it's nice that PRX are able to bait out so much utility early.
GX very quickly now just assemble behind that top mid smoke, ready for a fight.
I mean, look at this position by Westside over on B, by the way. He is just hard committed to holding this angle in main. That is some bold stuff. He has the cage to play off of.
Are they going to re-clear B main again?
Deploying drone.
They thought about it. Aro definitely thought about it. Our drone come in though, and that is dealt with now. Pull back a little bit and leave Ara close to the door.
And this time they're just set up with a fault line defensively. When the pop comes in, PRX have to be worried about getting stunned here, but they baited it out.
Okay, Jing no unaffected by the fault line. Ara realizes this, so doesn't fully swing around that corner. Instead leaves it up to Westside. Gotta be recovered here. Jing gets tucked in on the side. That's where the flash comes from, though, and something does get across. Flickless is going to be busy on this left side of the site, and there was a Sage Wall to cover the market push. PRX have kind of accounted for everything here. Very meticulous hit onto the site, and Grabinho has very little to see with the remnants of the wall in his way.
Cloud has to be careful about corners. Oh, directly to his left and right. Grabinho removed, and PRX too many numbers to overwhelm Cloud. They win those crucial backside fights as well. Swings from Jing something on opposite sides, a pillar. And I think they did a good job earlier in the round of getting so much of that defensive stall util out. You know, Aura doesn't have a relay bolt for main there. They mostly dodge out that second fault line that cycles back up as well.
You can see the tendency for GX. As PRX drone out, Aura is walking forward, maybe to re-clear lobby with West Side. They're always looking to fill that space with some form of proactivity.
Still a buy for GX, however, but a necessary round win when you took into account the economy for PRX just then.
The door coming down, shot at.
Toxin screen down.
Now with that dark cover thrown top right mid by Forsaken, that's certainly implying that there may be some intention for PRX to work up mid, and you can see that that's resulted in Cloud having to pick up Boba. But that is all just, you know, sort of minor distraction laid as PRX intend on going towards A.
Aldrone to clear this corner, respecting how far GX are pushed. Aura almost made that one-way work against him. Patman ultimately couldn't punish meaningfully. Fabinho takes a hit off that. PRX decide to go elsewhere. Smoke to top mid. This one not really prepared for by GX. They'll have a crossfire though.
And now a good thing for PRX is that they're drawing Flickless around the map with that utility. Isn't posted up in a great spot to support the anchors on B main right now. Something with that ultimate through. Does it get a tag? No. Just out the way is Cloud. Oh, doesn't dodge the second.
Forsaken also lit up there as Flickless is able to take him out of the game early. Patman trying to get quickly up from Market, and he does into Boba. Now Jing, Showstopper on site. It's a bit wayward, but Dubai is there to deliver.
Spike down.
Now Cloud tucked in that corner. Aura on a late reflank here. There's an opportunity here. If he can disrupt the plant, yes, Spike loose. Aura ready to fight for it now. Relay bomb thrown out, but didn't quite have the depth. So Jing handles him.
10 seconds left.
Low HP is Cloud, backside left alone. What is the maneuver?
Money's pretty bad.
Back up in just a few seconds.
19 points of health for Cloud.
I mean, surely you go for the 1 versus 2, right? Even with such low HP.
If you can get heads turned away with this recon, not the opportunity. I think he realizes they're tucked in the corner, and a clean double swing from PRX gets them 3 rounds ahead.
Yeah, they know Cloud is just so weak. Time to run at him, double face. There's no way he wins out both. Flickless does, get back to that site at a reasonable pace. I mean, that's
this Sage utility
little moment.
is going to be a pain.
Man, Aura rushes it just a little bit at the end there. If he waits fully for that spike to be recovered, maybe someone to run towards it, then relay, waste a little bit more time.
I think the relay pulls up a little short. I don't know if it catches on the Jing, but either way, he still loses that duel. Again, GX getting busy behind that one-way A side.
GX who have
camera taken out.
Spicy wall here, Wyatt. This is just for top mid.
Cover going out.
Patman on this map has a number of different walls that he will be throwing out throughout the game that constantly keep you guessing as to the intentions of PRX.
Just gives them that top mid smoke, quote unquote, on demand.
Poison's off.
Also it can imply a lot, draw players towards mid off the extremities.
Yeah, and in this instance, it gives them the opportunity to fight towards that right side.
Look at this though, GX re-clearing A main now. Tons of info for them, and a chance to threaten the Tiles player.
One of those kill trips immediately. Dealt with Grapinho. Wow, wins that out.
So the spotlight here is over at the B side though, Wyatt. Inside the smoke on Market side, West side is waiting for his moment to spring forth. Grapinho has a rifle. It's the only one though for GX here, and Flickless shows himself. That's that breach util for a retake now, not available.
Oh my god.
Okay.
West side with a crazy shot now, but something locks down the flank. Jing has been on a tear this round.
What?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What is happening?
Just the individual gunplay here is ridiculous.
Oh my god!
West side, unreal. Something now has to stop this. They know where he's going to be. Something mindful. Mineral Theft would reveal him inside main, but it's going to disrupt the plant. Grapinho now's gotten it to half, and something needs a better gun instead of reloading, and Westside brings it down. The most unlikely of MasterCard thrifties there for GX comes at one of the most important moments.
What on earth are we seeing in that round? Grapinho with the first Sheriff headshot. Westside breaks one panel in the wall that has been such a nuisance. Immediate headshot on the cross. Oh my god, what a round. I feel you.
Good job, guys.
And
They keep doing this.
It was the rounds like that that got GX back in the game on Ascent and then eventually propelled them to the win on that map. Crucial eco round pickups.
Uncanny from GX, but they still find themselves behind the pack. Cloud just takes the timing there. That was back on Link. Forsaken thought he had gotten deep, but now he's been dug out. I'm just waiting for a GX re-clear. It's going to happen at some point. Ara trying to post up with the op. Dangerous now, though. Punished. PRX very quickly spring into action. Down the op player.
Flickless not able to assist. Didn't have a stun there. Wants to pick up the line. 2 GX players here. They have to fight off all the PRX. Flickless a little bit too eager. And now Cloud caught in the corner by that showstopper.
That likely will do it, especially with Devi able to stave Corvino off as he makes his way in through spawn. That's another 4v5 conversion round for PRX, Wyatt.
Jing has just been a menace in this game so far. Going absolutely crazy.
Ara maybe just look, and the more successful reclears from GX there for Elbow with multiple players backed up. Ara goes solo, tries to post up, and oh jeez, and is punished.
Flickless just didn't have the util to really assist him in that spot. It's unfortunate for GX that their positions just get pretty scrambled.
Uncharacteristic from them.
Kill.
They are very regimented on this map, especially.
Now PRX have picked up that op and thrown it over to Devi. Shades of the Lotus play. This is a classic from GX, but PRX, they are totally out the way of it. Patman gets out of there.
They got Sentinels with this 2 rounds out of 3. Not PRX though, little too canny for it. They've been able to take up residence on this A side, and West side's trying to ask the question, do I stay or do I go? Jing dominates him from above. Now Cloud being as low as he is, he tries to go up and get a weapon. Punished for that as well. Jing won't be ready for the corner. That is one for Ara. Fastlane will get him out.
At this point, likely to just save with this rifle. And you're exactly right. That's a play that GX were finding success with in the EMEA Stage 2 playoffs, found success with against Sentinels, but PRX, they played around that. And specifically, it's Patman playing around that. He realizes what's happening, gets all the way back into spawn, and then just patiently waits for the moment to get back in and catches one of the GX players wrapping through tiles after the play. He handled that exactly as you need to.
He's been
just
here.
as you need to do to counter this GX aggression.
Patman's been on this roster now for quite some time, but his addition really allowed for that more well-rounded strategic approach. PRX no longer just W gaming, right?
That was the turning point. His addition brought them from one of our great top teams in Valorant to world beater squad, favorite to win champions.
See it there, and it's just the decision to play around that push-up mid.
We haven't seen any team really the best tools in the game to do so. That's just even further giving them a bit advantage.
Yeah, we're seeing more of that attack side senti op from Devi.
Very. They've been doing a good job of just removing these west side trips from Choke. Again, it's just depleted. He keeps putting this one main, but the Shock is breaking it from something.
There is a trip here, though, that could punish Jing, who likes to tuck in that corner after hitting the site. Well, he won't get onto the side at all. Cloud! What a Hunter's Fury. Jing and Devi already extracted from PRX's lineup.
I mean, Devi maybe could have played to a res on Jing, but then he also dies. So no one will be getting raised in this round. And we've been talking about the 4v5 for PRX, how absurd their conversion rate on that has been in this series, but the 3v5 surely not, right? Surely our 3v5 conversion rate isn't just above 50%.
Patman actually able to get a timing on Ara. Already set for the shot, forcing Ara off the line. Trade out by Flickless now, who makes a solo venture into Elbow with that screen active in the last moments.
Oh no, Forsaken was making a lot of noise in B main. Westside doesn't dare step out.
Forsaken has a good idea. There is an op there by Forsaken, so he might have to take that up again.
I mean, what is going on now? Something is just threaded the needle into A spawn, teleport towards A for Forsaken.
He does have the spike though, so he has to give this spot up at some point.
I mean, again, something only has 12 seconds. Now has to get back to the site.
10 seconds left.
Could respond.
Look at the mini-map, man. This is chaos. Now Forsaken said, okay, bet I'll take your positioning and spawn. And might catch Cloud.
He got him! He got him off the spike! That is nuts!
Oh,
Flickless, dirty, dirty work. That map was turned upside down.
Oh my, I mean, it's just pandemonium across the minimap. But Flickless plays to the out of just throw him up into the skybox.
That's the tune to a 3-round win. I'm taking that trade every day of the week. Oh, the Sage Wall there makes it a bit uncomfortable.
Oh, so
One enemy remaining.
the timing on that is perfect. I mean, chaos round. Chaos round. Somehow they almost brought it back, by the way.
Yep.
They had me believing they
They
were
were
going to
3v5 to start.
I was very invested in the fact that they were somehow going to win that 3v5, but Flickless, the cool hands prevail.
Ara's pushed up here. Waiting for an Aldrin around this one way. We'll give that space up. Flickless not quite in position to help out with a fault line.
Aura has been pushed up a lot in this game, and it's yet to really net too much value. PRX have been exploiting his forward positions by getting entry kills onto him.
Flickless has used a lot of his util here. Just the flashes now. Ara with a relay bolt. Devi already up on the corner though. Smoked
GX,
out.
Look at this. Just pacey rotate. They've got 4 players now onto this A site.
PRX sniffed this out. There's obviously the chance to work different parts of the map, but they obviously concerned about the Cypher. Ding! He's seen that whole time by Flickless.
That is criminal!
In midair! Just winked it out. Gets deeper on towards Link. Robinho at least shuts him down, but that was ungodly, and it's an opener for PRX. They can now look to exploit. Forsaken crouches into the shot, and Ara is dashed aside. Cloud trying to work around this wall, and Robinho finds the corner. There's a player trying to spike down. Robinho's found 3 here. Devi is indeed trouble. Up the proverbial without a paddle. Spike out of his grasp, and an Aldrone looking to sniff him out.
Surely not, right? Smoked off. GX have to lock this one up. They just make the call for that full rotate towards the A site. PRX have been going for a fair amount of re-hits. They were positioned, ready, and even with Jing getting an absolutely illegal kill onto Flickless with the satchel in, they still just have more than enough players to lock it down. Kind of goes for more, and Gravino's just ready for that swing through.
And then he finds 2 more. I don't know if there's a lack of awareness about the fact that he's sort of poked around the corner, or maybe feels like he's been covered from box there. But Devi, in theory, could have main trip, for example. Westside's not really invested in changing that one up too much.
No, he has just been throwing that trip pretty much every single time. And it has been getting consistently broken. But, all right, very fast Jing up mid. Paranoia through market. What? Is that a direct?
It must have been. Grabinho was in a place that's hard to hit with that showstopper. Up on top of Kiosk in the 10 spot. There's Patman. Finds himself 1, but again, PRX still have that numbers advantage. Devi with a Sheriff to work with, though.
Timing out main. Forsaken swings onto Westside, the lone anchor on site.
There's no eyes on main for Westside. There's not much he could have done. Ara might want to try and play into the site early, or at least imply that he's done so with his fast lane.
Another round should be good as done. Only 1 ult necessary for this one. That is so ideal for PRX. They just have to stop Aura and Flickless.
DX going to play the way into the site. Ara's only had 2 frags for the half. It's been a quieter outing for the Neon.
Look at this delay, though. They're slowed on one side, walled on the other.
And Jing is going to be standing in their way now as well. Talk about arresting utility. It's just Ara in that 1 versus 3, and his troubles, his woes continue. PRX have made 7 rounds now. And like you mentioned, only at the cost of the showstopper there.
They just bring that round to 0 to 100 straight away. Jing through. Yeah, it's like a basically direct on the Gravino. That's crazy. What a rocket. And then Patman had just been on that late lurk, waiting in mid to cut off the rotators.
I mean, that's such a hard spot for Westside to be in. He knows that market's compromised. He knows there could be a push out of main.
And with the advantage PRX have, in terms of the numbers, they don't even feel like they need to take backside control or anything, right? Just wall it off. We'll slow the other side, delay. It's fine. 3 ults for this final round. PRX to get in the lead. 8 to 4. This is GX's best map. But realistically, I think you could say the same probably for PRX.
And they didn't play much of it in Stage 2 at all. They played Bind 5 times, Haven 4 times. They actually had a narrower map pool of played maps in the stage than most of their contemporaries. But everything is still
I think
well and good on this map.
I think they are just incredible here. Flickless, though, with that first kill. That was catching Patman on the cross.
Top mid was where that shot came from. A Divine Jing out in the side. Hunter's Fury coming out from something. Nothing to see here, though. Shorty for Forsaken. A rare moment where it doesn't quite cut the mustard. Flicked down to 49, but that's enough for him and Grabinho now to bully their way back into the side. It's on something who is looking for a wrap. Something that Flickless is already accounting for. It may not matter. Something looking to the corner of the masonry. Sees Ira first. Grabinho is in no better shape than he is. 21 plays 46. Spike out on B, and something is slowing it down.
Grabinho in serious shock dart danger. Unfortunately, not one of Omen's abilities. There's a recon backup for something just now as well. He is taking his time. Obviously, from his perspective, Grabinho could basically be anywhere.
For something, it could be nothing or it could be everything, Wyatt. Up onto the spike. That is crosshair position for Grabinho, but this time, Grabinho hits the jackpot and grows GX's round total to 5 heading into the half. Very scrappy, very competitive first half, and GX getting those 4 rounds in a row was huge for them. We'll get a quick break. We'll be back, of course, with the conclusion of this decider map. Winner goes to playoffs.
Nice, guys.
PRX are going to have to go up against, but GX Aura needs to come to life.
Yeah. What I like about Aura, though, is he will slow down if he is too far ahead of that util. He has such a great sense for the pacing to make sure that it all lines up. And Flickless was incredible on Ascent in setting him up. It's going to have to be a mirror image of that on the Sunset attack side.
That being said, if there is one agent that is also great at slowing down the pace of attackers, stalling them out, it will be that Sage. Devi's utility should have big impact here on the defense. The way that Patman anchors B with the wall is sick, but right now, B ignored by GX. It's an effort to work up towards this A side. PRX, who had been triple facing down mid, trying to take some kind of contact. They're mostly just stacked up towards Link on account of that.
Giving up for some contact here via Link, and outside of that retake, wanted to slow down this push in towards elbow. They know what's coming. They've given that part of the map up on purpose. Oh, something had his crosshair positioned perfectly for that, and a 6 cents for the timing.
What is up with this guy on pistol rounds? He has been a demon today.
It's practically extrasensory perception.
Now Flickless has 2 flashes. He's got the aftershock ready to play within this post flank. Grabinho, look at the situation he's in.
So dangerous. There was a shoulder pick, not full committal from Devi, and so Jing's going to be able to take the frag.
Something again, and that's Flickless down. The utility removed.
Yep. For the retake, that's going to make things pretty difficult for GX as they play off the side. Something. Just the god with the ghost.
Another triple. Triples on both pistol rounds.
No, he had a quad.
Oh, that was a quad on the first one? Oh, my bad.
Sorry,
and then
bro.
it was an ace on map 1. And then, I mean, bro, what is going on with him today?
Again, Grabinho always dangerous in a spot like this, but there's a slowdown, a shoulder pick from Devi to confirm. Ara gets his in the round, but that's it. that is grim satisfaction from Coach Alex. Nothing more.
Insane. I set it back on map 1, but something's formed right now. I think you could argue is maybe his all-time peak, but it's definitely one of his highest peaks he's had over the last couple months.
But more than half of his kills have come from Ghost and pistol rounds.
It's great.
Just want to put that out.
Those rounds are pretty important. He's stepping up when they need him.
Second
and now
pistol, one for PRX, you're right.
It's crazy.
All right, here comes Ara. Steps up to the plate, though. The light is very good. What a recon. Something sets up for the first kill and takes a second for himself. Jing doesn't want to be left out. Refuses to be a footnote on a round like this, but Flickless will get the drop on him. Stinger always dangerous.
By the way, we've had 0 time to mention it, but that was a force from GX. No time to mention it because they got absolutely brutalized by a util combo play from PRX, a late nade. The recon comes over top. You've seen that from Something's point of view. Unbroken, free for Jing.
I feel like there's a tipping point here. This first gun round, if it's not successful for GX, this map gets away from them pretty quickly. Tough pistol round to run into. Losing both pistols on this map, never great.
On the first half, it was a thrifty round win that got them back into it. It was West Side with a Sheriff. She has got right now. And on Ascent, it was 2 rounds like this as well. But yeah, Something, he is just simply not easing up.
Expecting more from that, and he was right, in a sense. Mid definitely swarming with GX players right now, but Jing is feeling himself.
Spike down mid.
We'll take 2 with that Spectre. It's just Cloud. Spike is in mid. It's all but impossible. And so Pistol and Anti-Eco, they pass without much event here. GX down by 5.
How are you supposed to stop PRX on one of, if not their best maps, when you have Jing and something in top tier individual form? 36 kills currently between the two of them. That is madness.
It's a very early showstopper picked up for Jing.
And one away from a Hunter's Fury for something.
Yeah. Talk about ideal kill allocation. You got Jing and something, the two best players to have those orbs fed to. Ara, only one kill so far this half. It's been quiet to be fair, but now gun round here for GX. No thrifty for them this time around, so they've got to do it the old-fashioned way. Get back into this game with the rifles.
Dark cover for top mid, so they can just contact their way up here. Devi holding the angle with a very early operator. Is this something GX will be ready for? Might not even matter. They're trying to go through top mid. They're trying to split through Boba.
Slow orb to slow down this market push though, and yet GX haven't gone in there. They've got that top mid control. They're looking to try and exercise that into Boba. Devi had to heal himself quickly. Patton with a double back over towards Mark, and that's massive.
And everyone top mid, they're just stalled out. They're cut off because of the wall.
And how are they supposed to get this back? Flickless and Cloud, both the ones at the util.
And it is the pace that GX have just being stalled out entirely by the existence of this Sage. It is the counter to their play style. And that's exactly why. What a response to that split execute from Devi. And then Patmen, 1 versus 2 in market.
Originally, there was a slow orb there at market that made it impossible to fully split this properly.
Okay. I mean, there's even a little gap in the wall that Devi exploits.
We actually saw that on Ascent on a number of occasions.
145, dude. 145, dude.
Showstopper used, now something, Hunter's Fury. Still no one on GX with an ultimate.
And look at where something is sat. I think he might be ready to rip this. As soon as he gets an inkling, something is up. This is going to cause a split here for Westside, eventually on his own.
And this is a split again through top mid, but this time into Aura with a crucial kill onto Forsaken. That keeps GX in the round.
This elbow presence, though, for PRX is something of concern for GX. They have to dig it out, and look, the other arm of their pincer can't actually get past the line of scrimmage onto the A side. There's got to be a wrap, but Devi's waiting for it. Ara, though, wins it out. Now it's on Jing. He has to fight his way out of this map, but they've not checked the corner, and Jing got himself 2. That puts PRX up in the round, and Cloud at least has the spike to recover. But the net on him is closing too.
The late flank from Patmen. He's feeling the pressure. The wall's closing in. Stuck in elbow. Has to get that spike. Does so. But now where can he plant where he feels any level of safety? He wants to draw a Patmen. This is some good intuition from Cloud. He's expecting the flank.
Patmen is not the player that's going to fall into this trap. The last member of PRX that's going to be fallible to it.
Something open. Facing this angle right now.
Cloud is going to have to walk across and has to hedge his bets. The last best chance there for GX goes by the wayside. Another attempted split through mid, falls flat.
This is the kind of execute that they love to run, and it almost brought them the success that they needed, but they just didn't suspect that a second player would be an elbow, that Jing was tucked, and he saves the round for PRX with that 2-piece.
Now, GX at the 11th hour have to throw down to stay alive in this series. Well, PRX, as expected, would be advancing first out of this group to playoffs.
And it's a fast play down mid. Jing satcheling off of that paranoia.
Cloud pinged out, Forsaken. Hears all of this and chooses not to step forward. Now gets under the side of the bubble. Patmen controlling it from one part of the map, and he gets his. Grabino, though, 3 players now inside this elbow, and they're going to go for an Ara, throwing caution to the winds. It has to be now.
What is the maneuver for GX? They're being surrounded. There's a flank coming from their spawn side. They want to flip the map. They want to play from the defense spawn. But Cloud is caught. It's a 2 versus 4.
The head of the snake cut off. It isn't a Hydra. Will more grow? It doesn't look to be the case. It's Ara now in a 1v3, trying to relay bolt his way out of this now. Waiting on the other side is something. Waiting for his just desserts. A frustrating moment there. And Ara! He's found himself 4. A Red Bull clutch to keep GX in the game.
He's been silent for a while, but comes back in crazy fashion with that.
Last player standing.
Oh my God.
Relay bolt. Might have bought him the space he needed.
What a moment.
Clutch.
Devi can't connect. You hate to have an operator against a slide like that. How are GX still in this game?
Yeah, that's a hands-to-head kind of moment there for PRX.
I was ready for the arena music to cue, players to stand up, fist bumps to start, but we're still going.
GX have been able to work with a little bit more in terms of weaponry. A lot of half armors, in fact, all of them out there, but Hunter's Fury is ready for Cloud. They're in this still. Standard one-way refresh there for Forsaken. Sees that fault line come through. This is going to pull this over to Link.
Just tries to get a bit of pre-fire off, and now recon paranoia just stalls up GX.
Buy some time for this rotate to be pulled across from B. GX do look committed to this.
Forsaken just jumps up to get a little bit of info. Wow, Westside caught on the cross.
Really hoping to be a thorn and deny a wraparound, but there will be a reflank coming from PRX now, and GX know it. It's time to go. Onto the side goes Ara Cloud, trying to set him up here with a Hunter's Fury. No tags. Forsaken able to jump away from it for the most part. And now at Link, a little uncomfortable PRX.
Cloud watching the flank. Flickless getting the spike down. What can Cloud do? 1 for 1. One more kill for Flickless. He'll get that rolling thunder.
3 up though for GX. They don't have a lot to work with. Flickless needs the frag. Something to get swung on. It's going to be Ara finding his, but Patman comes alive. And Flickless solo on the side. Hardest rolling thunder's there. He can make use of it now. The 1v1, but Device swings on in. And finally, GX are forced to succumb.